What's up, everybody? In this video, I'm going to give you guys 4 specific diet tips that you can include in your overall diet regimen right now that will help you build lean muscle, help you burn off that excess fat and weight, to help you build and attain the dream physique and health and wellness that you're working so hard to attain. So let's get into it. So the first tip I'll give you is really making sure that you're getting the proper and adequate amount of protein. So protein is going to be so important in just helping you to build your overall muscle, because protein hosts all the 9 essential amino acids that's needed to repair and grow muscle as you train. And not having an adequate amount will have major effects to your overall body and the results that you get with your training and trying to shed that excess body fat. So proper protein intake is going to be very important. You want to really try to aim to get at least 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein per day, according to your body weight, whatever that is right now. So easy way to do that is just, step on the scale, look at what your weight is, and then just times that by 0.6 or 0.8. And that's going to be the total of grams that you want to try to shoot for in your diet. But it's not just really even about getting that 0.6 to 0.8 grams of protein in per day. It's also going to be very important, the kinds and the type of protein. As I mentioned earlier, protein is so important because it helps you regrow and build your muscle, because protein hosts all those 9 essential amino acids that's needed for that. But the proteins have to be complete, because there is 2 different types of protein. You have your incomplete proteins, like your nuts, seeds, legumes, things like that, as a single source, are going to have some essential amino acids in them, but not have the full 9 that you need, as opposed to your complete protein sources like chicken, eggs, fish, turkey, all your animal-based proteins and dairy, things like that, that are going to have all 9 essential amino acids, are going to be the proteins that you really want to try and formulate your diet around. Now, I mentioned earlier that, some of the plant-based protein sources, like your legumes, your beans, your rice, whole grains, things like that, that are incomplete. If you are a plant-based eater, you can still formulate a plant-based diet that is going to give you all 9 essential amino acids. You just have to really make sure you combine those different things together. So combining rice and beans, like different combinations like that, that's going to make sure you get a good enough amount of protein, but that you also get complete protein sources in there. So you are going to be getting the 9 essential amino acids that's needed to build and grow muscle. The second tip I want to give you, man, is not restricting yourself from carbs. So I know carbs, especially when it comes to, losing weight and trying to burn excess body fat, is something that a lot of people have a lot of different arguments on. So I'm going to give you my advice when it comes to your carb intake and what to do when you're specifically looking to build lean muscle and lose that excess body fat. Carbs are not going to be something that's going to keep you from reaching that goal. So I know you'll see a lot of people that will really recommend, very low to no carb diets, things like that, to really help you lose and shed that excess body fat. Me, you're never going to hear me be a proponent of that. I think A, it's very unsustainable for you, and B, I just don't even think it's even a smart way to go about a long-term approach to just your overall health and wellness and building up the strongest, most healthiest body that you can. So not restricting carbs is something I fully believe in, but instead, just switching up the kinds and the types of carbs that you're consuming. So you have 2 kinds of carbs. You have your non-refined carbs and you have your refined carbs. Your refined carbs are going to be things like your sodas, your candies, desserts, white breads, white pasta, anything like that has gone through some type of a refining process to take out some of the other nutrients and things in the certain carbohydrate to get it to a certain point, as opposed to your non-refined carbs, like your whole grains, like oats and brown rice, your potatoes, your sweet potatoes, your vegetables, your fruits, things like that. Those are going to be more whole food, non-refined sources of carbs that are going to still have all the nutrients and things packed in them that are going to be much better and healthier for your body. And generally, non-refined carbs are going to be much lower on the glycemic index, meaning they won't spike your blood sugar, so they won't cause different raises and spikes in that will affect your energy level and just your overall performance through your daily life. The third diet tip I'll give you is making sure that you're adequately hydrated. And water is so important when you're looking at just trying to build lean muscle and burn some of that excess body fat. First and foremost, because water is a huge transport when it comes to nutrients being carried around your body. So when you think of all the different systems that you have, your skeletal, your nervous, your muscle, all your organs and tissues that your body needs to transport nutrients to so that they can function and operate properly. Water is the main source for that. So making sure you're adequately hydrated is going to ultimately lead to your body functioning at a much higher level. And specifically for your muscles, water is a huge transport for both protein and glycogen structures that are going to help repair and grow your muscle after you break them down in training, to make sure that your muscles get all the protein and fuel that they need from those glycogen stores to repair and grow. As well as water is going to send electrolytes to your muscles as well. And electrolytes are so important because the more electrolytes that your muscles have, the more power and energy that your muscles will have to be able to make sure you perform through your training sessions at a much higher level. As well as the fact that water is going to be a natural appetite suppressant as well. So the more water you drink, you'll find you'll struggle less with different cravings and different binges that you may have to go, where you might, at a certain point in time would want some cookies or want some chips or other things like that you don't necessarily need. Replacing that with water is going to help you feel much fuller throughout the day so that you won't feel as hungry. So you're going to be eating less, which in turn is going to help you be in a caloric deficit a lot easier, so you continue to shed that excess body fat. So making sure you're adequately hydrated is going to really help you achieve that specific goal that you're trying to work for. And as far as the amount, I can't really give you a set amount because it's really going to vary from individual, how much water you need and how, intensely you're training. There's a lot of different things going to factor into that. But I can say if you are an individual that is actively training and working out and is really working on building, that strong muscular physique, I would say at bare minimum, drinking 2 liters of water a day to as much as a gallon a day is what I would recommend you do. If you just need kind of like a set, what's the kind of the target I want to aim for, that would be what I would do. But again, it's really going to depend from person to person how much water is needed, how much you sweat. Because certain people are going to sweat more than others, so there's all those different factors. So figuring out what's right for you is going to be different depending on who you are. But again, just that 2 liter to that 1 gallon range in general is going to be enough for most people. So that's what I would say I would shoot for if you're somebody that's looking to up their water intake to a certain degree. And the fourth and final tip is, leaving room to have 1 or 2 cheat meals per week. When you're going through in any healthy diet, there's always going to be those times where you're going to want, it may be pizza for somebody, it may be a dessert for another person, it just may be those different foods and things that we enjoy and love. Xing them all the way out is just, for me, it's not a long-term and sustainable solution for anybody to follow. So definitely making sure you're leaving room to still enjoy the food you love, just doing it in moderation. And again, it's a cheat meal, not a cheat day. So structure out within your diet, where you maybe have 1 to 2 meals a week that aren't necessarily healthy or calorie dense or whatever, and just letting you enjoy yourself, enjoy the foods that you love, just doing it in a more controlled way. It is not going to affect your results at all. I can promise you that. Having 1 to 2 cheat meals a week will not do anything wrong for anybody, and it actually will help you probably eat healthier for longer, and can even help increase your metabolism as well as you do that. So making sure that you have 1 to 2 cheat meals a week, I think, is important because it helps you stay sane, helps you find balance in your diet, and helps you still incorporate the food you love while giving you great results. So those are going to be my 4 diet tips that's going to really help you, build lean muscle and shed that excess body fat and weight that you're looking to do. And before we get out of here, I just want to give you guys this verse. And this verse is Philippians 4:8, which says, "In conclusion, my friends, fill your minds with those things that are good, that deserve praise, things that are true, noble, right, pure, lovely, and honorable." I wanted to give you guys that verse because, in the same way how, we're really focusing on our diet and really focusing on what we're filling our bodies up with so that we can enhance our wellness physically through the different things in nutrition that we incorporate into our daily lives. The same way I believe it's important when, we're trying to build ourselves spiritually and build ourselves into whatever it is we're trying to do, whether it be, overcoming different situations, whether it be trying to build a business, whatever it is, your mind is going to be very important in what you feed it throughout, your life and day. So, making sure that you're, not only focusing on filling your body up with the right things, but filling your mind up with, positive thoughts, positive words, and ultimately with the word of God. I believe it's so important because, one of the biggest things, especially when I look at some things that I struggle with the most, when I look back at, what are some things that really, cause so much, internal discomfort, what caused so much, just strife, and what felt like, impossible things to get over, was really through, things that I was consuming throughout, a daily basis that led to that. So, whatever it is, just making sure that you're really watching, what you're hearing, what you're listening to, seeing what, you're feeding yourself and what you're looking at and feeding your mind throughout a daily basis. I believe it's just very important, and making sure that the things that you're filling yourself up with ultimately aligns with the goals and the dreams and, the person that you're trying to become on a daily basis, because all that stuff does matter. And the more that you begin to do that, you will see yourself begin to naturally make better decisions and begin to see yourself, naturally become the person that you want to be, just by aligning your mind with, the beliefs and the systems and the actions that you're trying to do throughout the day. So just want to give you guys that encouragement, man. Really look at and take harder decisions on what you're feeding your mind. Make sure it's positive. Make sure it's things that, are going to ultimately lead to building your faith. And through that, you'll see great things happen in you and in your life. All right, guys, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you did, definitely be sure to leave a like. Definitely be sure to comment any questions, feedback, concerns. Would love to connect with you guys more. So leave all that feedback in the comments below. Definitely be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification as well. So I'm always uploading new content every week to help you enhance your physique, your health, your wellness, and your faith through the foundations of fitness, nutrition, and a relationship with God. So be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any of that new content. And be sure to check out some of the other things that I have as well. I'll leave some links in the description to some other videos and content that I think will further help you in your fitness and wellness journey. Again, man, I just want to thank you guys for tuning into this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.